What is going on, Detroit Lions football fans? Welcome to the Lions Den podcast. This is a podcast where we talk all things Detroit Lions, but every now and then you may get us talking something else. We're going to give you a quick little introduction, then we're going to get right into this Lions 2020 NFL draft. We're a father and son team who are hardcore Lions fans. We want to give you our thoughts on how we thought the Lions did with this 2020 draft. So to get started, say hello, son.
What's up? My name is Jamar.
All right, let's get going. The Lions had 9 picks in this 2020 draft. The first pick went pretty much how we thought it was going to go. They took Jeffrey Okudah out of Ohio State. This was definitely a need for the Lions. We knew going into this draft that the Lions were, at least I thought that the Lions should draft a running back and an interior lineman and a quarterback on offense. And on defense, a defensive lineman, a linebacker, and a corner. So the Lions do take a corner with the first pick. So what do you think about Jeff Okudah and what he brings to the Lions?
Yeah, I think it was a really good pick. I think he's the best corner in college, or he was, and I think he was the best corner in the draft. So yeah, I think it was a really good pick.
Absolutely. Based on what everyone says, he was the best cover corner in the draft by far. He does feel a huge need due to the fact that the Lions did trade Darius Slay, about a month ago. A move, to be honest, Lions fans, that I was not crazy about. I know that Darius Slay is going on 30 years old, and he probably doesn't have many good years left, but I've always been a fan that you never get better by trading your best player away. What's your thoughts on that, son? On the Lions trading Darius Slay to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, I was pretty annoyed by it just because we're fans of him, but I personally think it was a really good trade because they got Desmond Trufant, who is younger, and Darius Slay had 2 down years in a row. So I think this will be better because they'll have a younger cornerback core now.
Yeah. There are some people who definitely feel the same way. Now Desmond Trufant actually has something to prove going into the season. He actually did not have a good 2019, and that's why some of the quote NFL experts were upset that they brought in Trufant because they didn't really bring in a number one to replace Slade. They brought in a guy who actually has a lot to prove. But I do agree with you there. Now let's get back to Okudah. I'm the belief that he's going to start right in that number one corner spot literally from day one. I think he's going to be the number one corner with Trufant being the number two corner. And my man's name, he just slipped my mind because they actually have the corner they got from Seattle. His name slips my mind. He's going to fill in the slot. So the Lions should definitely have a better upgraded backfield, defensive backfield, I should say, going into 2020. All right, before we move on to the next pick, anything else on Jeff Okudah?
Nope.
All right. With their first pick in the second round, the Detroit Lions took Deandre Swift, the 5'8" running back out of Georgia. Now I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I called it when the first round ended. I looked and saw who was left, and I thought to myself, okay, the Lions either A are gonna go with Deandre Swift if he's there, or they would have went with Xavier McKinney, the safety, if he was there. I know the Lions are not desperately in need of a safety, but I thought he was a good pick, a guy that some predicted to go to the Dallas Cowboys at 18, but they pick up DeAndre Swift, a move that I like because as much as we love Kerryon Johnson, he is starting to prove to be injury prone. He missed 6 games in 2018, his rookie year, and he missed the last 6 games of 2019. So I don't think that he's proven that he's durable. What's your thoughts on DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I thought it was an alright pick. They have all SEC backfield now because they have Bo Scarborough and Kerryon Johnson. Yeah, I know he was a really good running back this year, so I think it was an alright pick. I probably would have went with the defensive player. I didn't think they had to get a running back, but I thought it was an alright pick.
Yeah, I think it came down to the fact that he was the best player on the board. I think that they were thinking of getting a running back, and they said, look, this guy, this was not the year for running backs. I mean, the only running back that went in the first round was what's the kid that the Chiefs took? Hilaire, I can't think of his last name. It slips my mind. He was only running back that went in the first round, and he went at in the end. So this was not a year that they actually thought would be a good running back draft. But I like this kid. I also think that he'll help Matthew Stafford out of the backfield because Deandre Swift can catch, and losing what was my J.D. McKissick, that's his name, the who was a very good receiving back out of the backfield, a guy I wish the Lions would have kept. I think that he can kind of help Matthew Stafford out of the backfield, but I think that Deandre Swift is going to start. I think he's going to start over Kerryon Johnson, and Ty Johnson and Bo Scarborough will kind of fill in. What else you got on Deandre Swift?
I think you about covered it. I pretty much agree. I think he's going to be the number one back coming into this new season too.
All right, and with the Lions had 2 third-round picks. With their first third-round pick, to me, this was the key pick. This might have been the key pick of their draft. Julian Okora, they got in the 3rd round. This is a kid who they actually had a first-round grade on before he was injured. Matt Patricia, I'm hearing that he's probably going to switch more to a 4-3 defense. If that's the case, then Julian Okora could play defensive end, but he also could play outside linebacker in the 3-4 formation and help the Lions get some pressure on the quarterback, something that we've been terrible at for the last couple of years. What's your thoughts on Julian Okora?
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I just know that he's a solid defensive end, and he can play linebacker too, can he?
Yeah. Outside linebacker. In the 3-4, he would be outside linebacker. In the 4-3, he would be a defensive end. But if he comes back from the injury nice and strong, he should really help the Lions put some pressure on the other side. If you put him on one side, you put Trey Flowers on the other side. Hopefully, we can get some pressure on the quarterback going into 2020. All right. I think that's good. That's good, and that covers that. And the Lions also had another 3rd round pick, and they took Jonah Jackson, a guard out of Ohio State. What's your thoughts on Jonah Jackson maybe filling in for Glasgow, who the Lions let go?
Yeah, I don't know. I know Ohio State has a really good offensive lineman. I've never looked at this dude myself, but I do know the Lions' offensive line needs a lot of help because Matthew Stafford, I think he took the most hits last year out of any other quarterback.
Yeah, the Lions' offensive line, besides, in my opinion, besides Ragnow, who I love at center, and Taylor Decker, who was the left tackle, ironically also from Ohio State. The Lions are kind of spotty on the offensive line. They did get the guy. I don't remember his last name off the hand, but he's got that long last name from Philadelphia. They signed him as a free agent to fill in for Rick Wagner at right tackle. Jonah Jackson, hopefully he'll start. I'm a believer that players that you take in the first 4 rounds, you should be taking starters in those rounds. So with them spending a pick on Jonah Jackson, I'm hoping that he can plug in at either left or right guard and have an immediate impact and help protect Matthew Stafford on that offensive line. Now we move into the 4th round. The Lions went with another interior lineman, Logan Steinberg from Kentucky, a guy that I don't know a lot about. Reading the little draft analysis right here, it says that he's a nasty mauler. And at 6'6", 317, he looks like, and I did, when I was watching the draft, I looked at the highlights, and he does look like the type of guard that can finish a block. But is he a starter is the question. What's your thoughts on Logan Steinberg?
Like you, I don't know much about him. I know he's a pretty solid offensive lineman. I think maybe he'll be able to help with 2 gappers because he is really, really big and 6'6", 317. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully they didn't waste a pick here on a guy that is a depth pick. Hopefully they believe that he can start at either left or right guard opposite Steinberg and put these guys on each side of Frank Ragnow. So that was the 4th round pick. Now we're going to move into the 5th round pick. The Lions took the wide receiver out of Wisconsin, Quintez Cephas. This was my kind of first head scratcher pick. Now I did think the Lions needed to draft a receiver, but I can't pull it up right now. But I thought that Donovan Peoples-Jones was still on the board when the Lions drafted Quintez.
He was.
He was okay. Uh, Look, from there. Mel Kiper said he believes that this kid could be an underrated receiver, but he's at 6'1", 202. He's not a very fast receiver. So I'm thinking maybe the Lions. This was definitely a depth pick, and I'm thinking because Amendola is going to be in the slot in between Galladay and Marvin Jones. Thank you. So I guess we look at this as a depth pick. Anything else on Quintez?
No.
Okay. The Lions, with the Lions' second, fifth round pick, they took another running back, Jason Huntley, 5'8", 190 out of New Mexico State. Now, this was actually another head scratcher pick for me that the Lions took. I thought they would take one running back, and I figured that's all we needed. But they took this kid. What's your thoughts on Jason Huntley? The Lions taking him in the fifth round.
Yeah, I don't know. I figured maybe they took him as a special teams man, maybe a kick return person. I don't really know what else because they already have a heavy running backfield now. Like they have 4 running backs.
4 or 5. You see Swift, Kerryon Johnson, Ty Johnson, Bo Scarborough.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 4, unless it's somebody I'm missing. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with you on that. Maybe they're thinking of a special teams player. Maybe this kid can return kicks. To be honest, when I was watching the draft, I never saw any highlights on him, so I'm not exactly sure what this is about. But maybe they are bringing him in as a special team player to return kicks or punts, and to maybe maybe just be a depth pick, be a fifth running back. But I wanted to see the Lions take maybe a quarterback at this spot, but they didn't. So they went with another running back. Now, in the 6th round, the Lions they finally go with an interior defensive lineman, and they go with John Penasina, 6'1", 318 out of Utah. Reading the pre-draft analysis, it says he has above average size and strength with a low center of gravity. He flashes the ability to stack and shed blockers and time to make plays. And it also says he's a far better run defender than a pass rusher. Yeah, at 6'1", 318, he's probably not there as a pass rusher, but this is not bad because when you get into the 5th, 6th, and 7th round, I feel that this is where you're taking depth. So this is just another defensive tackle to put behind what they already have, behind Sheldon and Williams. Any thoughts on John Penasina?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they just got him as a development player just to see if he could grow into be a really good player eventually, and then he could be a starter. So it's just a safe pick because they already have 2 defensive tackles.
All right. And then we're going to wrap it up with the 7th round. The Lions' 7th round pick was Jason Cornell out of Ohio State, 6'3", 285. Now I'm gonna be very honest. This pick I thought could be a slept-on pick. This could be a sleeper pick that the Lions picked up in the 7th round. He played on the Ohio State line opposite of Chase Young. And if you saw some of the highlights, you saw every time you saw Chase Young, most of the time I should say, when you saw Chase Young in the backfield after a quarterback, you saw this kid, Jason Cornell, right there with him. I think he has pretty good speed for a man that's 6'3", 285. This is a kid on the 7th round. You're talking depth, but you're also talking about a guy that may not even make the team. You're talking about a person, when you get to those 6th and 7th rounds, you're talking about players that have to come in and make the team. So there's no guarantee that John Penasina and Jason Cornell would make the team, that they would be on the Lions roster come 2020. But I believe that this Jason Cornell kid can make the team. You know anything about him, son, or you want to add anything on about him?
Well, I agree. I feel like he'll be a sleeper, and I think he'll have a chance to get some rotations in. The fact that he started at Ohio State, if it was only for a year, I think he's big enough to be on the inside because he's 285.
Correct.
And he's fast enough to also be on the outside as an edge rusher. So I think that gives him a chance to get some playing time this year.
Correct. Actually, when they put his name up on the board, they actually listed him as a defensive tackle. But I agree with you. He is. I think he's the kid that he can play on the defensive end when you go to a 3-4. or he could play as a defensive tackle if you go to a 4-3 or a 4-4 and help cause havoc. But I may be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if that kid is on the roster come the fall, if we have football in the fall. But that was the Detroit Lions draft. Mel Kiper gave it a B when I read and saw how he graded the draft today. I'm also going to get his draft a B. The Lions did fill a lot of positions. They filled a lot of spots that I thought that they needed. The only thing that I'm looking at that the Lions didn't draft was a quarterback. Not that Matthew Stafford is in his prime year, so I'm not even talking about a quarterback to replace Matthew Stafford. But if the rest of you Lions fans remember how our season went after that Raiders game and Matthew Stafford was out the last 8 games, I want you to remember who we had at quarterback and what those guys did. The Lions definitely need a young upgrade at quarterback. I know they have Chase Daniels, so they kind of brought in a veteran, but I believe that they should have brought in a young quarterback, somebody that maybe that can sit behind Matthew Stafford and not take his place, but somebody who could be a good backup just in case Matthew Stafford goes down. Pretty much, Lion fans, that is it for this. That's going to be it for this first podcast. We'll be back. We'll be back to anything Detroit Lions. We'll pretty much be back to talk it. We'll check the check the headlines, see if there's anything interesting coming up. I mean, at this time right now where there's no sports, we have to find anything we can to talk about. But let us know what you think about it. What did you think about the Lions draft? Were you happy with the Lions taking Okudah with the 3rd pick instead of taking Isaiah Simmons or Derrick Brown? 2 players that I feel like Okudah are can't miss players. Are you happy with the picks? Are you happy with Okora in the 3rd round and Deandre Swift in the 2nd round? Players that I think could be instant starters. Other than that, son, you want to throw anything else in before we get out of here?
No, I think you pretty much got it. And, we'll be back if there's anything else to cover about the Lions.
All right, Lions fans, that's it. Holla at y'all later.